I'm Dr. Terrie Van Alstyne. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I've been practicing since 2001, so that's 18 years. This is my kitty who really wants to be on my lap. That's Mittens. And so today we're going to talk about how to protect our immune systems naturally. So things that cause poor immunity. Here's the list. Antibiotics and other medications. They really do damage our immune systems. A damaged gut, which is caused by food sensitivities, antibiotics, infections, bacterial, viral, fungal, parasites, stress, exposure to wind and to cold wind. But any kind of wind, any temperature wind actually depresses our immune systems. There's wind gates at the back of the neck. So in Chinese medicine, that's where external pathogens can enter the body and make us sick. Poor diet and nutrient deficiency, lack of sunlight, specifically vitamin D deficiency, lack of oxygen, lack of exercise, not being breastfed. So having been born via C-section, and that's because the microbiome that's the bacteria, viruses, fungus, parasites, all the microbes that live in the vagina are meant to be passed to the baby as it comes out the birth canal. So by being delivered via C-section, that microbiome is missing, and it really helps strengthen the baby's immune system. Toxicity, so that's both chemical and heavy metal, which we're all full of, and fear. Fear is the key negative emotion that all other negative emotions come from, and it is a stress that lowers our immune systems. So this shows areas impacted by poor immunity. So, and the gut microbiome in general. So dietary intake, what we're eating, proteins, fats, carbs, polyphenols, pre and probiotics, altered gut bacteria. So if there's a dysbiosis, not the right proportions of the various bacterias, funguses, viruses, etc. A biologic effect. So does our liver function properly, for example? And whether, like number 4 is host disease, whether we have cardiovascular disease, diabetes, obesity, metabolic syndrome, which is the tendency to become diabetic, and or autoimmune disease. So this all is impacted. And so functions of gut bacteria and the microbiome, you can see all of the many functions of the microbiome that our bodies are relying on. This milieu of bacteria, viruses, fungus, parasites, etc. So it impacts our nervous system. It helps to break down food compounds. It helps us resist pathogenic bacteria, viruses, etc. It protects against cellular damage or epithelial injury. It helps with bone density, with fat storage, with angiogenesis, which is the growth of new blood vessels, with immune system stimulation, with the biosynthesis of vitamins and amino acids like vitamin K and B12, which are produced by bacteria in the gut, and the metabolism of medications. So the best foods to feed the gut microbiome are naturally fermented foods. So like sauerkraut, which we can make ourselves super easy. Just look up a recipe. It only takes 3 days. And then you just take a tablespoon every day. It can go into a salad or a sandwich or whatever, but it's full of that microbiome that we need to stay healthy. So we need to be eating plenty of fruits and vegetables for the fiber. Miso paste, which can be made into miso soup or added to any soup off the heat, um, is full of good bacteria. Kimchi as well, kefir, and kombucha. Lowering stress is very important for our immune systems. So ideally, we would be meditating every morning and every night for half an hour each time. That's what Deepak Chopra says. And when you do meditate, it actually, well, I found it really changes me. I am a different person when I meditate regularly. I am more positive, easygoing, even in chaos. I'm not affected by it. It doesn't, you're like an observer. It's a wonderful feeling. Daily exercise, super important for lowering stress. Time in nature, so being in the trees, on the mountains, in the ocean. Decreasing or eliminating caffeine, decreasing or eliminating sugar and junk food. Mental detoxification, which is removing negative thoughts. And we can do that day by day, or just say, okay, for the next month, I am not allowing any negative thoughts in. And if any negative thoughts come in, I immediately switch them to positive. Because of course, we are radio towers of frequencies that we send out into the field, and what we send out is what we get back. So if we're sending out negative, we're going to get back negative. That is quantum physics. Listening to spiritual audiobooks while you drive, or reading spiritual books. There's so many great ones. Deepak Chopra. I love Dr. Joe Dispenza, Marianne Williamson. There's so many great ones. So it's really helpful to lower stress and feel like, everything's going to work out. Nothing's a big deal. And we need to slow down and prioritize. So the treatments for stress, these are treatments that I offer at the clinic. Some of them, mental field therapy, which is a tapping technique. It's what EFT, or emotional freedom technique, came from, which is a more diluted version of mental field therapy. So it's tapping on acupuncture meridians that basically lower stress. But you can tap on anything from physical pain to menstrual cramps to any condition, but it's great for everything, but it really, really works well for stress. I offer a stress buster IV therapy. So this is an IV push where I'm delivering B complex, B12, vitamin C, and glutathione, and biotin in. So that's very helpful. Supplements we have at the clinic, but that can be available from a health food store and pure pharmacy, are like B complex, GABA, and L-theanine. These three specifically lower stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline. Japanese green tea, and particularly matcha, lowers cortisol. Shiatsu, or therapeutic massage, will help with stress. Laughter, of course, and counseling, and neurofeedback. Neurofeedback is a device where electrodes are placed on the head, and they send in frequencies into the brain to balance the left and right brain and put you into a deep meditative state while you watch a screen. And at my clinic in North Vancouver, Nicholas Ehrlich, the counselor there, has two neurofeedback machines and is getting phenomenal results with them for so many conditions, but stress for sure. So the most important nutrients for immunity are vitamins A, C, D, E, zinc, and selenium. And these are nutrients that feed the white blood cells and enable them to kill invading bacteria and viruses. Foods that depress the immune system, as you can imagine, are in the picture. Junk food, processed food, sugar, alcohol, gluten, dairy, corn, soy, and eggs. And I just wanted to mention vitamin D levels what the research has shown in Canada is that we require 6,000 to 8,000 IUs of vitamin D per day in the winter because of the lack of sunlight. So, the Canadian government dictates that the daily dose of vitamin D is 1,000 IUs, and we need 6,000 to 8,000. So I find the easiest is to use the liquid, and you just do 8 drops into the mouth every day, or you can take more than that once a week. Um, so it's fat soluble, so the body will hold on to it and use it over time. And you don't have to worry about overdosing with D, but we definitely are deficient. Respiratory ozone is a treatment that I offer at the clinic. It's breathing in ozone gas, which is O3, and O3 kills bacteria, viruses, and fungus on contact. It greatly enhances oxygenation of all the cells in the body and oxygen metabolism. So it's just a great treatment. You just breathe it in through a nasal cannula for an hour, and works really well. There's other delivery systems, but I'm finding the respiratory is an easy one. I could do an IV drip with it, a saline bag, and I can bubble it into that saline bag. And I will be at some point in the future doing the blood version of it, where I drain blood out, I mix ozone in with the blood, and then I lift the bag and drain that blood back into the body that's ozonated. So it does all the same things. IV nutrient drips I offer as well. I use good high amounts of all the vitamins and minerals so that the patient really feels a difference afterwards. And I will finish it with glutathione when the patient wants me to, because glutathione is the master antioxidant, immune booster, and detoxifier. So I also offer glutathione plus push and an immune boosting push. Oh, sorry, Melanie, can you put yourself on mute, please?
Okay.
Somebody's got some background.
Trying to figure out this. Okay,
There
sorry.
should be a mute button, or
Okay.
Jillian, maybe you can do that.
Where is it?
Hey, Terrie. Oh yeah, she's on mute already. Perfect.
So the immune boosting push has vitamin C, zinc, selenium, and it's finished with glutathione. And the glutathione plus push has B complex, B12, vitamin C, and glutathione. So there's a variation in them, and we just go with what the patient needs. It's a great idea to come in for a push as soon as you're feeling run down. Not sick with COVID, of course, but if your immune system's low and you really need a boost, it's really effective. And supplements that we offer and that I highly encourage people to take, especially when their immune systems are low or they feel at risk, are the immune and antiviral formula that I've created. It's a powder that can go into smoothies. So it's all the top vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and herbs needed to boost the immune system. And vitamins A, D3, zinc, and selenium. An antioxidant formula, which combines all of those. And wild oregano oil, there's one called Headwind, which we carry at the clinic, and it's from Greece, and it's the strongest oregano oil I've ever found. So that's basically like a natural antibiotic, as well as taking a probiotic, like we have probiotic GI by Pure Encapsulations. So the products that we carry at the clinic are from Douglas Labs and Pure Encapsulations, which are the top two companies, top two professional companies with the highest potency and quality of ingredients. So immune supportive herbs are the wild oregano oil, which I mentioned, which is like a natural antibiotic, garlic, black seed oil, elderberry, lemon balm, cat's claw, and then colloidal silver is not a herb, but it is a product that you can take. You dilute it in water. It comes as a concentrate, and it kills pathogenic bacteria and viruses. So you don't want to overdo it with the silver, but a certain amount is good when you're trying to fight something off. And the amino acid L-lysine is specifically helpful for herpes virus. For respiratory infections, coughs and mucus, we carry a product called NAC, and you can find it at health food stores. It's short for N-acetylcysteine, so it's an amino acid, and it gets rid of mucus. It's really effective. So you can take it and just take as many as how severe your cough or mucus is. So if it's really severe, take 3 to 5. If it's not so bad, take 1. But don't just take it once a day. You need to take it multiple times a day for it to really work. That goes for everything. Just taking 1 vitamin C a day is not going to do it if you're trying to fight off an infection. With vitamin C, you can take 1 every hour, you know. You don't want to do it for months on end because that could cause kidney stones. But for a short period of time, if you're trying to fight something off, you definitely need to take it often and take higher amounts. So Dijon mustard is excellent for coughs and mucus. You can take a teaspoon 2 to 3 times a day. Lemon ginger turmeric tea is excellent. And the way I do it is I grate lemon rind into the blender. I juice the lemon, put the juice, strain juice into the blender without the seeds. Take a chunk of ginger, like a couple inches peeled, and you just scrape a spoon to peel it. Throw that in the blender, and a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric. And then you boil the water, and you pour the boiling water in, and some honey. And the best honey is the one from, it's Melaleuca, I think is the name. It's from the tea tree. You know, the tea tree oil. Well, the tea tree has honey. And so that's a very powerful form of honey. And then you blend all of this and you strain it into a cup and drink it. And you can drink it all day long if you're sick. And in fact, a friend of mine who did get COVID, who was not able to breathe or move, she had to stay horizontal for 2 weeks. She said the only thing that worked was this lemon ginger turmeric tea that got her back to health. And she tried prednisone and all kinds of different drugs, and nothing worked except for this lemon ginger turmeric tea. So it's fabulous. Breathing in eucalyptus oil and tea tree oil in a steaming pot of water. So if you have a simmering pot on the stove, you put some eucalyptus oil and tea tree oil into it, and you put a towel over your head, and you need to make sure you're not too close, that you're going to burn yourself with steam, but you can breathe in through your nose that steam from a healthy distance, and it will help to clear out the lungs. And this is really effective for asthma as well. Castor oil packs on the chest. So castor oil is pretty amazing. You can saturate a flannel or a cotton cloth with it, wrap it around your chest, put a layer of plastic around that, and then a heating pad or hot water bottle, and then wrap up in the towel or old blankets. And that castor oil with the heat will soak into the lungs and open them up. It helps to detoxify, and it helps to break up mucus. And lastly, alternating hot and cold on the chest. So you can either do alternating hot and cold showers. That's the easiest if you're by yourself, or if you have somebody to help you, hot and cold towels alternating. So it's 5 minutes, 5 minutes. And between each one, you're wrapping up in blankets and towels. And you do it 3 times each. So you start with hot for 5 minutes, then cold, then hot, then cold, then hot, then cold. And then you can wrap it all the way around, so front and back. It works really well. So lifestyle things that we can do to boost our immune system, as I mentioned, alternating hot and cold showers, or we can finish the shower with cold. So we can have a hot shower and finish it with cold, and that makes our immune systems more able to adjust to sudden changes in temperature. Alternating sauna and cold shower. So this is if you're at a rec center or something. This is what I used to do is sit in the sauna till I was, sweating and super hot, and then have a cold shower, then go into the steam room, then a cold shower, then into the sauna, and rotate it like that. The hot cold is really good for the circulation and for the immune system. Cold water dips into lakes, streams, and the ocean, and just make sure after you get out that you bundle up really well so that you're not cold for long. You need to be able to warm up quickly afterwards. Covering our necks, as I mentioned, avoiding wind. So it's the back of the neck with those wind gates that can cause us to get sick. Drinking change of season soup, which it doesn't have to be all of these things, but traditionally it's astragalus, Cotinopsis, reishi mushroom, chaga mushroom, lychee, um, which is goji berry actually, Dioscorea, which is a wild yam, and licorice root, clove, and cinnamon. So these can all be boiled in a decoction of water and reduced. You can have it simmering for like 4 hours and then you strain it. And I've actually done that, and I've cooked buckwheat noodles in it, soba noodles. And so you're when you're eating the soba noodles, you're getting the medicinal benefit from the change of season soup. So that could be done with spaghetti noodles too, but I use buckwheat because it's gluten free. And you can also drink it as a tea for sure, and use it when you make elixirs, like a hot elixir. I should do a demo sometime of all the different things that you can do. And raw garlic is really an excellent immune booster, as is raw ginger. So what else can we do? As I mentioned, spending time in nature, drinking plenty of clean water. It's super important that you drink filtered water. And ideally, you would have a water filter on your sink. So I've got a Kangen. It's expensive, but it is the best water filter I know of that I found in my research. And it's something I'll have for the next 25 years. So it's so important that we're drinking clean water. Our water is full of heavy metals and all kinds of other garbage. So do what you can. Be in bed by 10 or 10:30 p.m. Taking 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C 3 times a day or more often. As I mentioned, you can take vitamin C every hour if needed, if you are sick or getting sick, and it will kill it. It works amazingly. Vitamins A, D, E, zinc, and selenium. Very, very important for boosting the immune system. The core healing immune and antiviral formula that I created. And detoxification is very important for boosting our immune system as well. So I've created a core healing, anti-aging, and detox program. And this is what's in the immune and antiviral formula. So it's quite loaded, as I mentioned, with all of these ingredients, herbs, vitamins, minerals, and amino acids in good high amounts. And that's it. So if you're not familiar, I practice in Yaletown at White Orchid, Vital Synergy in North Vancouver, and I do online consults. And I see the odd person in Whistler.